Hey everyone, and welcome back. So today we're going to be reviewing Charge Kid for the Nintendo Switch. Now, Charge Kid was released on January 6th of 2021, and its regular sale price is only $2.49. However, currently, as of January 9th, 2021, the game is on sale for only $1.99. Now, as usual, just before we get the video started, don't forget that if you like what you see, please do hit the like button. It really does help out a lot, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Now, just to get us started, Charge Kid is a puzzle platformer. If you want a current game that is very well known, that is in the same style, and honestly playing through this game does evoke the same type of gameplay, I would very much compare it to the very first Super Meat Boy. Now, the game isn't as long, the graphics are much more simple, but the gameplay is the same type of really difficult, tight puzzle platforming gameplay. Now, let's actually start by fleshing out that gameplay. So, actually, there's only 3 buttons used in Charge Kid. You have your B button to jump, you have the R button to shoot your charge gun, and later on, you'll have the Y button to activate a dash ability. And obviously, you use either the left joystick to move your character around, but you can also use the D-pad. Now, although this sounds simple enough, I'm telling you right away, the level of complexity and difficulty that they use combining these simple abilities in the game get quite spicy. And what adds this level of depth is the presence of charge stations throughout the game. Basically, these different little posts with a red light on them will give Charge Kid an extra ability. So, for example, if you jump while holding a charge, you'll be able to double jump. If you shoot your gun while holding a charge, if you hold your bullet in place by holding down the R button, you can then dash to it by using the Y function. Now, through different tactics that you're going to learn throughout the game, you're actually going to be able to combine these abilities into much more complex combos, such as triple jumps or basically double jumps followed by a dash. But honestly, it's very difficult to explain without experiencing the game yourself, but trust me, those abilities are possible. Now with the gameplay out of the way, let's talk about the things I liked about Charge Kid. And spoilers, there are a lot of things I liked about this game. Number 1, the overall presentation in the game is very simple. But at the same time, this is simplicity well used. Basically, some games have a minimalistic approach, but that minimalistic approach you can tell is just to save time and effort on the game. In this case, the minimalistic approach actually works to really put the focus on the main point of this game, which is the overall mechanics and difficulty level. Basically, at no point during the gameplay did I mind that my main character was just a jumble of white lines. Because ultimately, all the stages are very well defined. Once you get into it, you really know what you can jump on, what you can't jump on, and you also have a clear understanding of what kills you and what doesn't. And all this is done with a super minimalistic but very simple approach. And at the same time, the awesome splashes of color that are used are really in all the right spots that overall end up giving the game a very simple but pleasing aesthetic. Now, the second point, and probably the most important overall, is how precise and exact the controls are. So as I mentioned earlier, this is not a very forgiving game, but at least the controls uphold their end of the bargain. And overall, it's a really good thing that the controls are so precise and responsive, because you're already probably going to be failing so often for inputting the wrong action. You wouldn't want it feeling even badder because you feel like the game just understood the wrong input. And the last aspect that I really liked about Charge Kid is how diverse the levels are. Basically, no 2 levels feel the same, and no 2 levels ask you to solve the same puzzles in the same way. And it is fantastic that they managed to do such a huge diversity with so few abilities and also such a simple graphical presentation. I mean, once I passed the 12th level, I was so amazed that they managed to come up with yet another way to apply the same abilities. I was pretty sure at that point that I had seen everything they could throw at us, and that basically it would be just rehashes of the same ways to use the abilities. But no, they came with fresh, original ideas, stage after stage after stage. Now, if we talk about maybe the only point that I actually didn't like about the game, I found that the sound was lackluster. I mean, overall, this is a ultra budget title, And so much effort seems to have been put into the overall gameplay that I can understand that probably the sound was an afterthought, and they went with a more ambiophonic type sound design. And I can't say the sound is bad, it's just the only point of the game that I found sort of lackluster. I would have really liked some really pumping music to keep you motivated, especially because you're retrying the same stages multiple times to manage to get through them. So having that sort of pumping soundtrack in the background just keeps you motivated and focused on the gameplay. Now, before we actually make it to the verdict, I want to be clear on one element. I've already spoken about it a couple of times in this review, but I really want to come back on the fact that Charge Kid is a very, very difficult game. If you like puzzle platformers, but you like laid-back puzzle platformers, this is not a game for you. I personally love challenging puzzle platformers. Like Super Meat Boy was one of my favorite games, and the fact that I've managed to find a game that I would put on par with that one, although much shorter, for only $2.49, will give you a sort of overall idea of where I'm going to be situated when I give my verdict. Now, personally, my verdict is going to be based on the fact that I absolutely love challenging puzzle platformers. But if you cannot deal with the fact of like trying the same stage 20, 30, 40 times, I don't want you jumping out and buying this game based on my verdict, because a lot of people that I saw bought the game online started staying stuck as early as stage 3 or 4. And this game really throws you in the deep end very quickly. I would say only stage 1 and 2 are fairly simple, but as soon as you hit stage 3 and 4, this game does not pull any punches. The difficulty level right away skyrockets. But now, with all those warnings out of the way, let's actually get to the rating. Now, if this is the first video of mine that you watch, I do not give a numerical value. I give an overall statement on where I position myself on purchasing this game. If you want to see all those statements, check out the description down below. They're all in the description of the video. And in the case of Charge Kid, I'm going to be giving my first and highest rating of Hidden Gem. To me, Charge Kid on the Nintendo Switch, to someone who loves difficult puzzle platformers, is a hidden gem, simply because of how awesome the gameplay is mixed with the incredible sale price. Like, even when it's not on sale at $2.49, to get this quality of a difficult puzzle platformer is, to me, the very definition of what a hidden gem is. So overall, that's pretty much it for my review of Charge Kid. If you picked up the game, let me know what you think. I really want to hear from you in the comments down below. Do you agree with my evaluation or not? At the same time, as I said at the beginning of the video, don't forget to hit the like button if you like what you saw. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Oh, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when all my new content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.